One thing that always bothered me about Toy Story, but I also found really fascinating, was when Sid Phillips was in his room torturing Woody with a magnifying glass. He burned Woody's head. And I thought that was really crazy because if you burn a toy's head, would it be permanent? And I did test this in real life. But here is Sid doing it first in the movie, and you can see the smoke coming out of his head. It actually is burning. Woody runs to the bowl of cereal to cool off, and then he says,
Sure hope this isn't permanent.
well, it looks like it's actually permanent because you can see the burn mark right there on his forehead. It's pretty obvious. So then I tested this in real life with my huggable plush head in the sun with a magnifying glass, and guess what? It actually started smoking, just like the movie. So it is actually kind of real, something you can do in real life. I ran it under cold water to see if I could wash it off, but nope, it did not come off. It was actually permanent in real life. So theoretically, if this were to happen, he should have that mark permanently there. But of course, it's an animated movie. They can make things happen magically. And you can see over time after the scene where he gets burned, his scar starts fading very slowly, little by little. But even when Sid's holding them there at the end, he still has the scar. And even after he left Sid's house and they reunited with Andy in the van, you could see that he still has a mark on his head. So he was still burned. Then I found out his mark was completely just disappeared towards the end of the movie when Bo Peep was about to grab him under the mistletoe for Christmas time. Magically, the burn mark was gone. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Should the animators left the burn mark, or should the animators tell us how the burn mark just suddenly disappeared? Because it didn't come back after Toy Story 1. We never saw the burn mark again. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Here are some very interesting mistakes from Toy Story 2. When the old man is putting paint on Woody's boot, you can see the A-N-D-Y is written a certain way. The A is closer to the top of the boot. Later on in the movie, when Woody scrapes the paint off, the Y is closer to the top of the boot. So Andy was written in reverse. This is a huge animation mistake because it's supposed to be written with the A on the top of the boot, not the other way around. So I thought that was a really interesting animator mistake. Another animation mistake was this pen sitting by the box. Before Woody popped out of the box, you can see the pen is close to the box. And then when Woody opens the box, the pen is far away from the box. But the box never touched the pen. So how did it move? Here's a box error again with the box flap opened out. But then when we see Bullseye in the scene, the box flap is folded in. For some reason, the box moved by itself. Here's another one with Buzz standing next to Woody. The height looks kind of close, but then when Woody turns his back, what happened? He turned giant. So they didn't stay with the continuity of the height. From one scene to the next, Woody grew taller or shorter. Here in this scene, Mr. Potato Head goes back to get his shoe stuck to the gum, but suddenly it moved in less than 1 second. So if you look at the top screen here, he's supposed to be at the edge of the cylinder, and then 1 second later, he's in the middle of the cylinder. That doesn't make sense. Very big mistake. And then the best mistake for last is here is Utility Belt Buzz. He has his belt on, and then suddenly in the next scene, it's missing. It's supposed to be on him. They must have forgot to put the utility belt on him. It's already confusing enough, right? Because there was two buzzes coming up in this scene, but yep, they forgot to put utility belt back on Buzz for that scene. Let me know what you think of the animation mistakes I caught in Toy Story 2 in the comment section below. One of the things that really bothered me from Toy Story 3 was this scene when the kids were running around destroying our favorite characters. Basically, they were throwing them, sitting on them, they were putting paint all over their hair, almost breaking them in every scene. And even Ham, they put glue all over his back and put glitter on him. You know, that's going to be pretty hard to clean off. And then you have all the other characters as well getting beat up. And even in the aftermath, you can see there's paint all over the toys and dirt and grime. Some stuff looks permanent to me. So this very, very crazy how destroyed the toys looked at the very end of that rough playtime scene. The potato heads look the best, I feel like. But if you look at the close-up here at the end, they're cleaning off with a hose to go see Andy like nothing happened. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. Like, look at Jesse with the green paint. There's no way a water hose could clean that up or without scrubbing. Look at Rex. He's got a lot of dirt, grime, and paint. Same thing with Bullseye. Even if it was washable paint, A little hose spray is not going to clean that off. It might need like some extra scrubbing or special solution. Even Buzz, his helmet would not be super clear after this. So I feel like this is a big animation mistake, or something they probably thought, oh, they're not going to remember how messed up they were. And the fact that Buzz was sprayed with a hose, you know his electronics got wet, he probably got broken. Andy would not be able to play with them again, so that was definitely a huge fake thing. And then here's another error I found with Jesse on the boot. The A is on the top of the boot, and then in another scene the Y is on the top of the boot. Just like what we saw in Toy Story 2 with Woody's boot error, they switched the Andy name. Here's a box error with text on the side of the box getting donated to Sunnyside, and then in another scene the text is magically gone on the same side of the box. So another box error in this movie. And then Bonnie's playing with Woody here. You can see that the microwave door is wide open, and then in the next scene it looks almost shut, and she did not touch it because this was a different camera angle, so that was a huge animation mistake. And then this is not a mistake, but I really like the cameo of Sid. That was my favorite, to see him as a garbage man, a little bit older in Toy Story 3. And then my most favorite cameo, of course, is Zurg being donated to Sunnyside at the end of the movie. I thought that was super awesome. Let me know what you think of my complaints and / animation mistakes from Toy Story 3 in the comments section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. A few things that bothered me about Toy Story 4 was some of the continuity errors that the animators made, or design choices that they made regarding Andy's design. I really love the sequence of him playing with the toys for nostalgic reasons, but look at his face. He looks nothing like the Andy that we knew from the previous films. If we look at Toy Story 1 and 2, he didn't change too much, so I could forgive the animators for updating Andy there. But then Toy Story 3 and 4, it just changed way too far. He became another kid, another human. Basically does not look like the original Andy whatsoever. I think they went too modern with it. Another thing that bothered me is when Bonnie opened up the closet for her playtime, and then we see Woody and Buzz on the floor. The problem is, something is wrong with Buzz's face. His toy mode face is closed mouth smile, which we've never seen in any of the previous movies. In Toy Story 1 and 2, this was his toy mode smile. Didn't really change too much. I could see the modernization, but it didn't change. And then in Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4, we got those similar toy modes in the same movie. But then for some reason, even though we saw this in the carnival scene for toy mode, in the closet, Buzz had a different toy mode face. So what happened? Bonnie should have noticed that, because that's different. Another error that I found with Buzz was when he was hanging on the carnival wall, you can see the tip of the red rocket was by his feet. But then when the camera changes angles, the rocket moved by itself, and now the red tip is closer to his head, which is a big animation error. Another thing that's the elephant in the room is Bo Peep. She looked like this in Toy Story 1, and by Lamp Life in Toy Story 4, she just got really modernized, but to the point where we don't even recognize Bo Peep. And I think they went a little too far with changing the animation. It's not the Bo Peep that we knew growing up watching the movies. She became this modern, almost Barbie looking doll. And then look at the sheep from Toy Story 1 with the long faces. And then by Toy Story 4, the sheep changed again, short stubby faces. It's almost like they're a different set of sheep, and it's a different lamp, and it doesn't feel like the characters we grew up with. That was an animation continuity mistake in my opinion. Another thing that really bothered me was when Bonnie was carrying the toys in her backpack. There is no way that scale would work in real life. You could not fit Trixie, Rex, Buzz, Woody, all those toys in that backpack in that small space. I tested this with my own backpack. I have a Buzz Lightyear backpack that's kind of small, and if you line up the toys next to it, there's no humanly way that would happen in real life. I think that's a big animation error. There's no way those toys shrank in scale to fit in Bonnie's backpack like that, especially as we know Trixie is really a giant toy like Rex is. Let me know in the comment section below, do you like these continuity errors? Do you think the designers or the animators really went too far, or did you like the modernization of the toys that we knew back then, such as the upgrade of Bo Peep, or downgrade depending on how you look at it, versus what Andy looks like now as well? And obviously Toy Story 4, I didn't find as many errors, but these were the things that bothered me the most. As always, partners, thank you so much for watching, liking, and commenting on these videos. It really helps support what I do here on YouTube. If you'd like to continue to support me on this journey, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're alerted for future videos on this channel, and I'll see you partners on the next video review.
You weren't the real Buzz Lightyear. You're an action figure.
You are a sad, strange little man. You are a sad, strange little man. That might be.
You are a child's plaything.
Hey, Ham, look, I'm Picasso.
I don't get it.